Hi guys, and welcome back to the Essence of May. So today I will be doing a reaction to the old China and Hong Kong saga that is taking place. So basically China introduced a new national law in Hong Kong, and the UK, as I would use the word, interfered with that old process by offering to welcome nationals of Hong Kong to the UK to work, live, etc. So that would be something that is in Parliament at the moment, that the UK government is now debating over, or I think it's maybe in stone. They're just saying that, it's something that they're looking into. But I thought the story would be interesting because I want to tie it in with the old Windrush scandal and the whole deportation that takes place on a regular basis. So that's the deportation of Jamaicans back to Jamaica. So the Jamaicans who are in the UK, who are illegal, some who have lived there for so long. So I just wanted to tie. I thought this would be a really interesting insight, something to look at, and just to show you how unfair the whole system is, to show you how they said puss and dog is a saying, not have the same luck. So I just thought I wanted to, because I felt compelled to do this story. I wanted to tie everything in. So basically I'll be showing you the video of what is taking place in Hong Kong, and then I'll be speaking about how Jamaica ties into this and how the UK has now interfered, and the difference with how they approach the sovereignty compared to Jamaica. So let's watch a video, guys, and I'll come back with my thoughts, i.e. my 2 cents on the whole matter. I'll be right back.
Now, up to 3 million people in Hong Kong are to be granted new rights to come to live and work in the UK. The decision follows China's imposition of a new security law that makes it a crime to undermine Beijing's authority. Boris Johnson denounced the legislation as a clear and serious breach of the 1985 Sino-British Joint Declaration. That was the agreement which set out how certain freedoms would be protected for 50 years after China assumed sovereignty back in 1997. Now, our China correspondent John Sudworth has the latest for us.
23 years after China took control of Hong Kong, it was an anniversary marked with tear gas and arrests. Familiar scenes, but the stakes for protesters are now so much higher with the new national security law in force. For Hong Kong's pro-Beijing leaders, though, this was a day to celebrate, with a flag-raising ceremony and a champagne toast with Chinese officers. For Beijing, this is all about sovereignty, with China denying that the new law breaches its promise to Britain to uphold Hong Kong's freedoms. But the UK government clearly disagrees, and it is now pushing ahead with its plan to offer up to 3 million Hong Kongers eligible for British National Overseas Passports, or BNOs, a route to citizenship.
We will grant BNOs 5 years limited leave to remain with the right to work or study. After these 5 years, they'll be able to apply for settled status. And after a further 12 months with settled status, they will be able to apply for citizenship.
Senior Chinese officials, though, had already made it clear they've no time for what they see as foreign meddling.
We are making a law concerning a region of China to safeguard its national security. It's none of your business.
Hong Kong's protesters, though, are certain that something fundamental is being lost.
I'm angry at the disrespect for human rights that this national security legislation brings.
I think very obviously the purpose of law is to change Hong Kong from rule of law to rule of fear.
This photo shows the first man arrested for advocating independence from China. And new police banners were on display, warning that such slogans could constitute secession or subversion, new offences punishable with up to life in prison. John Sudworth, BBC News, Beijing.
That's basically what's been happening in Hong Kong. And Britain, the lovely Britain as we know it, has decided to step in. They're very generous, I must add. They have decided to step in and now offer nationals of Hong Kong the opportunity to come to the UK, to live, to work. And like I said earlier, they're in discussion about that. But I honestly believe that that decision has already been made. They just have to tell us that they're in discussion just to make it seem like they're, taking their time. But personally, I believe that they have already made that decision. Now, do I have a problem with that? No, I don't have a problem with that. Even though, yes, Britain has a housing crisis. So I'm curious to see how that will work, because at present, the council, whether it be Birmingham, wherever, the council is having difficulty placing people in homes. So I don't know how Brittany is going to, handle that one, deal with that one. I'm a bit confused. So clearly there's not really a housing crisis as they put it. Because if you're going to offer 3 million nationals from Hong Kong to come and live and work in the UK, then clearly you have accommodation for them. Clearly you have provision. Clearly the system is not as deprived as they would want us to think. But again, you look at the difference in equality. It's equality of opportunities. So this for me, you would look at equality of opportunities. So that's where I wanna tie Jamaica into this whole saga, because I want to bring to focus, guys, the whole contribution of Jamaicans to Britain. Everybody would have heard about the whole Windrush scandal, where they at the time Theresa May wanted to deport these Jamaicans who have been in Britain for however long, so for a very long time, and they haven't obtained their British citizenship, which at the time there wasn't even passport needed. But you remember that scandal, and they had to reverse because of how inhumane it was. But it's very concerning, because the fact that they even made that mistake just goes to show you that equality of opportunity is not really there. So this is why I always come up with that whole idea that yes, we can get jobs, yes, we can drive on the same bus, yes, we can do certain things, but I don't believe that there's necessarily equality, especially equality of opportunities. And that's just how I look at it. But guys, before I go any further, I want to read something to you before I delve deeper into Jamaica versus Hong Kong versus China versus wherever, and Europe versus Europe, how Jamaicans have contributed, just to elaborate how the whole Windrush generation came about. So just to give you a little insight on what that is. So I'm reading this article from newrepublic.com, and it's titled, so this article is New Republic. So I'm reading this article from newrepublic.com, and the title of the article is The Caribbean Immigrants Who Transformed Britain. Now, transform is a very powerful word, which means that the Caribbean, i.e. Jamaicans I'm focusing on, has transformed Britain to what it is today. So Britain was what it was, and obviously the Windrush generation came in and transformed Britain. And it reads that 70 years ago today, June 22nd, 1948, so that was in 1948, that the Windrush generation came over to Britain. A passenger ship carrying 492 Jamaican immigrants arrived in Essex, London. The Empire Windrush was the first of many ships, so that's the name of the ship, to come, as the British government recruited migrants from the Caribbean, Commonwealth, to help rebuild the economy after World War II. So of course, Britain has suffered severely, and I think it was in the time of Churchill, and Britain has suffered severely, and Churchill would have wanted help to rebuild because so many soldiers died, people died in World War II, etc. So they recruited migrants from the Caribbean to come and assist Britain, which of course, as you know, Jamaicans, we're always willing to do stuff like that. These arrivals came to be known as the Windrush generation. It is unclear how many people belong to the Windrush generation, since many of those who arrived as children traveled on parents' passports and never applied for travel documents, but they are thought to be in their thousands. So even though this article is recording 492, guys, it is said to be thousands of Caribbean nationals, but I'm focusing on Jamaicans. So it's said to be thousands of Jamaicans who came over. So what used to happen is a family would come, they take their children, but of course they traveled on their parents' documents, because at the time you only needed passport. Traveled on their parents' documents and they never neutralized, so they're not recorded in the system. So there's so many people in the UK who, they're basically lost in the system because of that old Windrush generation. And of course, we know the scandal where they tried to deport these individuals. So these same individuals whom their parents came served England, whether it be in the military, whether it be in World War II, whether it be to rebuild, because we all know that Jamaicans came and they rebuild England, they rebuild Britain. They helped to rebuild structures, they helped to serve as nurses, etc. There's so many roles, teachers, nurses, you name it. So Jamaicans have an history in Britain. Jamaica has a historical times of Britain, in historical books of British culture. So you would expect that there would be that relationship, that, that respect for the fact that Jamaicans would come over and contribute to the development of the British society. Now to get to the point that I'm trying to raise. Now, at present, guys, Jamaicans constantly face the possibility of deportation. That is what the British government continues to do. They look for ways, especially if these individuals don't have documents, they try to find ways to deport Jamaicans back to Jamaica. But you notice they try to welcome other nationals. Now, I'm not saying that Jamaicans are perfect. We have a lot Jamaicans have committed crimes in the UK, etc. But there's good and bad in every single culture, in every single race. And at the end of the day, there's so many good Jamaicans in the UK. There's so many good Jamaicans who have been deported. The recent deportation is 50 in February. And I think they had 150 to deport, but people would naturally try to win their case, etc. So I just had to show you that, and it goes back to equality. It goes back to equal opportunities. And I don't think that, we get equal opportunities, because look at it. Britain was so quick to interfere in the whole Hong Kong situation, right? As much as I know there's a treaty, as much as I know there's a sovereignty there, but at the end of the day, it is the same for Jamaicans. Britain has so much influence in Jamaica. Britain has been a part of the Jamaican culture for centuries, i.e. also Jamaicans being a part of the British culture. We've worked, we've contributed. There's been so many positive Jamaicans. It's just what the media portrays, right? The negativity. But loads of Jamaicans are in England. They're contributing to the economy. They're contributing to the society. They're doing what needs to be done. So what I would like is the same treatment that we're now seeing Hong Kong gets, where Britain is looking out for their well-being, their interests. I would love to see the same treatment being applied to the Jamaican nationals who live in Britain without their immigrational status. I'm not saying they should come to England and break the rules, because there's rules are there for a reason, and we need to adhere to policies. We need to adhere to the law. But I'm talking about some people that genuinely got caught up in the system, that some of them, they have been here for so long, before there was even passport needed. And still they're facing deportation. Some individuals have even been in the military who have served this country. In Iraq, Afghanistan, Falklands, you name it. And they have been facing deportation. So I'm not saying that lawlessness is okay. I'm not saying that Jamaicans should come to Britain and break the rules, break the law, and then get deported. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that it would be nice to see Jamaicans being appreciated, treated with the utmost respect, as we see other nationals being treated with. And this is why I have a problem with equality of opportunity. Because it's not there, guys. It's clearly not there. Because even as I speak, the British government is constantly in communication with Jamaican embassy to find ways to deport, to pay to deport. So they're paying to deport Jamaicans. But they're welcoming 3 million. 3 million is a lot of people to Britain to work and to live, work. Look at the offer that they're getting as well. Equality of opportunity, guys. So they're trying to get rid of Jamaicans, the same Jamaicans that work hard in Britain, contributed to this economy, contributed to the building of the British culture, rebuilding. We've had positive impact. I myself, I came to him, and I never came here and committed crimes. I never came here and depended on the welfare system. I came here and I served this country. I contributed to the economy. So I'm just saying, guys, it's not everything you see on TV that is true. It's just showing the negative, but there's so much positivity about Jamaicans abroad. Most of us, we do right. And some of these Jamaicans that you see get deported, not all of them are bad. And I'm not saying Jamaicans should come. You know, that's something that we have to work on as a society to stop coming to these countries and committing crimes, etc. I'm not saying that's allowed. And the rules are there. Laws are in place to keep order. So I believe in following the rules, following the laws. But you can tell that Britain is very strict on Jamaicans for the fact that even get a visa to come to this country is hard. Jamaicans, the same Jamaicans who came to Britain and contributed to the economy, the same Jamaicans are being treated like this now. That's not fair. It is so hard to get a visa to come to England, yet other countries are able to get it. Equality of opportunity, guys. It's not there. So I just thought I wanted to bring this because it just goes to show you that, we're not equal. The treatment, or we are viewed. It's not equal. They have, without even thinking twice, they jumped on it to lend aid to Hong Kong. But Jamaicans have been asking for help for centuries. Jamaican economy is stifling. You know what I mean? The crime rate, etc. I'm not the oldest, guys, but I just speak as I see it, and I look at life and I look at how things just don't add up. It's just not fair, guys, for, to ask for someone's help and turn around and tell them, now I've gotten what I needed from you. You can go back to where you came. It's not very nice. It's very sad. It's very disrespectful to the Jamaican people. So I would really like, it just goes to show you, treat Jamaicans the same way, the same effort, the same respect, the same dignity you're treating other nationals with. Treat Jamaicans the same way. Sometimes they deport Jamaicans with just a scandal bag. Believe it or not, guys. Embarrassing. Sometimes you've worked in this country. You've given your efforts. You've done your best. And just because you can't get paperwork, and trust me, paperwork is hard to get in this country. They don't make it easy for you because they don't want us here. If they wanted Jamaicans in Britain, it wouldn't be that hard to gain status, But you see, Hong Kong, how easy it is. They're going to even give them jobs, homes, everything they would need. And I'm sure they can even access the welfare system. And the economy is not even suffering. Just goes to show you equality of opportunity, guys. You're going to do all of that. How unfair life is. But daily they try to get rid of Jamaicans. And daily they make it hard for you to travel to their country. They don't want us. Because they've gotten what they've gotten out of us. They got what they needed out of us. Very sad, guys. Because Jamaicans, for the efforts and the contribution that we have provided to this economy, you would think that we'd be welcomed with open arms. They don't want us. Because they use the one bad apple to spoil the bunch. They judge us based on certain situations, which we all know that everyone is not bad. And in every single culture, you have good and bad. But of course, you know, we just have to live with those demons, as you'd call them. But guys, that's just really it. That's my 2 cents. That's my thoughts, my whole take on the whole matter. I just believe that this needs to stop. Britain needs to look at Jamaicans the way that they deserve to be looked at and treated. Make it easier for Jamaicans to travel to their country because we deserve it. Our ancestors have contributed. Our ancestors has paved the way. Our ancestors sweat and tears is in the very foundation of the British society and culture. So I don't know what you guys think. I mean, I'm not digging up things. I'm just showing you that, you know, equality of opportunity, it's not there. And I don't want nobody to tell me that, oh, Jamaicans do this and Jamaicans do that. Doesn't matter. You know, every day they try to deport us, try to get rid of us. They don't want us because we don't serve any purpose for them now. But they're willing to accept 3 million nationals from Hong Kong. And I know people are going to say, well, it's not the same because it's what? With Hong Kong, it's human rights and, human rights, freedom. But in my opinion, Jamaicans are suffering the same. Crime. Those are Jamaicans want to get the opportunity to come to the UK. It's not perfect, but to live a better life. So it's the same human rights in my opinion. Yeah, that's basically the gist of it, guys. You know, that's just my thoughts, how I look at it. So, you know, let me know what you think. You know, let me know what you think about the whole situation. But you know, treat us equal. Give us the same opportunities that you give to everybody else. And, you know, stop making it so hard for Jamaicans to come to Britain. You know, show us the respect. Show us the gratitude of the hard work of our ancestors. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got a lot from it. And just leave your comments, guys. You know, what your thoughts is on the whole matter. Guys, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel. Guys, the channel is growing. I'm almost at 250. And we're getting to 300 by the hook or the cook, guys. So it's getting there, guys. I'm determined. And, you know, with God, everything is possible. So, guys, you do like the video. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Click the bell notification. Notification. And, you know, share the video, etc. And, you know, it was really wonderful having this discussion with you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Until next time, you do take care. Godspeed. Bye.